that you mentioned one Dallas again. What wrong defensively?
Starts on the ball. I think it's all stuff we can fix. I think it starts on the ball. You got to keep guys in front. Obviously they play to, Mike having fouls. You don't want to foul, don't want to do all that. But same thing, we can shift, make it tougher. The driving lanes are wide open, and sometimes we have them contained, and we know we're so used to rotating. But we'll fix it. But we got to guard the ball. We got to do a better job at that, and then limit the wide open threes. At least rotate, do something. So at the end of the day, it starts with all on the ball, and we'll be better. Then credit where credit's due. They took care of home court like they were supposed to, but we'll be better.
Multiple times in game one where you guys X'd out, right? Like you go to the corner, Gobert goes out the perimeter. Why wasn't that happening tonight?
Can't really answer that without giving you the game plan. So basically, Kleber shot 8 of 11 from 3. That's to his credit. He was ready for those shots. I can't say that wasn't the case necessarily in game one. There was more of a stunt than a rotate to him. It looks different when he starts making 8 of 11 from 3. So those stunts were like when you're just stunned at him and whatnot. And then he's still making it. It looks like, you just rotate, different players, different scenarios. And we'll go back and look at the film. And I could be wrong too, speaking to you. It's so fresh, but that's my initial thought. Sometimes we were late and they shot it anyway, and got to give, like I said, you got to give them credit. They made plays. But at the end of the day, we got to guard. We got to stay in front of the ball, all of us. And we'll be good.
Donovan, how familiar does this feel, comparing it to the way the defense broke down against the Clippers, and how concerning are those similarities?
I'm not too concerned because, I had a bad ankle, Mike had a bad hamstring, so there's supposed to be us off the dribble. Now it's something we can fix, I'm hopeful, I'm looking at it like, okay, last year was last year, but this year we can go back and fix that. We can go ahead and, stand our ground, shift, and help each other as a team, so I don't really look at it as, oh man, here we go again, same thing as last year. I look at it as like, all right, now we can go and do what we're supposed to do. And, like I said, you got to give credit where credit's due. Jalen had a hell of a game. Kleber had a hell of a game. And, we can make it easier on a guy guarding the ball shifting. But, I wouldn't put it as, I don't think any of us are looking at it as, like it's last year all over again, because we're healthy. We can do this. We can control that. And I think we will. I know we will.
How does 1-1 just sound in the field to you when you guys did have an opportunity to win tonight? Could have been 2-0. So how do you kind of process 1-1?
We tried, to go out there and take both. It didn't happen. I'm not going to overreact, and we're going to go home and we got to take care of business. Simple as that. They're going to try and split just like we did here. At the end of the day, we're happy we took a game and go back and take care of business.
You guys got 23 points in the fourth quarter. Are you guys happy with the offensive execution?
Yeah, I think there are a few times we did some things that were a little, I did as well. I think we did some things that were kind of out of character. Correction, I shouldn't say out of character, just wild shots, or certain possessions where we didn't get into things on time, or certain possessions where we turn it over, we shouldn't. I think for us, it's all stuff that's fixable. It's easy. I'm not too concerned. I don't think any of us are too concerned about the offensive end. I think really what changes the game is defensively. I think offensively we did enough to win the game. I don't think, we're not too concerned about that. I think the biggest thing is defensively, we gave up a lot of threes, especially to Kleber. And like I said, man, they had 47 threes. Damn, I didn't know that, but there you go, story of the game. So for us, it's like, okay, we'll adjust and we'll fix it. And like I said, you continuously give credit where it's due. They took care of home court, and we'll go back home and look at the film and be ready on Thursday.
Thank you. What can you guys do defensively to kind of prevent that from happening again?
I think for us, kind of putting us in rotation. With a space floor like that, Brunson was, got it going how he was getting it. I think we just gotta, rotate, communicate, contest those shots, from Kleber and those guys in the corner. Yeah.
How similar did this feel compared to last season against the Clippers?
I'm not sure if it was like too similar, but I mean, it was putting us in certain situations that were very kind of the same in terms of them driving the ball on a spread floor and kicking it. But like I said, I think we just stick with our rotations, get out there, contest those shots, and make them miss.
They've done a good job for the first few games of the series of kind of keeping you guys in check from beyond the arc offensively. Is there any way to kind of unlock what they're doing, or do you kind of just have to live with the mid-range shots that are available?
I think they've been running us off the line. We had, shots, opportunities to get those as well. I mean, they're just doing a good job right now, but when we get those, I think we're making them. We're knocking them in. But in terms of that, I don't think it's the offense for us right now. I think it's defensively figuring out what to do in those situations.
What's the onus for you guys, point of attack defensively going forward?
I think that's something, we sit down and, figure out on film. It's a series. They made adjustments. Now, we going back to Utah. We're going to make our adjustments. We got 2 games at home, and that's what it is.
All right, thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
According to ESPN's stats, the Mavericks made 17 uncontested 3-pointers tonight. And what went wrong defensively?
Well, there was a few of them, particularly earlier in the game, where we had a couple breakdowns that weren't related, to penetration, where we made some mistakes in pick and roll with the 5. They got a few runouts in transition. I think the latter stages of the game where we all felt it. The challenge for us is to do a better job containing the ball. And then, if we aren't able to do that, to come and be able to protect the rim. And then when the ball is kicked out, to get to those shooters, particularly to the first shooter out. And the telltale is if we can't have Brunson have the night he had, and also be able to kick the ball out for those looks. And when those passes are kicked out, I thought we weren't as sharp mentally in our ability to rotate. And that's something that we've done before. It's obviously a challenge. When you have a guy that handles the ball as well and is good off the dribble and can drive, we have to do a better job containing, or at least give them a direction where we're able to give help. But having said that, this is the second game of the series, and there's things that we'll be able to look at and clean up. When a team is going to space like that, they're going to get looks. I think that the key thing you said there is that I don't know how exactly we define uncontested, but that means we're not getting to where we need to be quick enough. And both those things, staying in front, being able to protect the rim, and then getting back out to shooters. There's a chain reaction there. I thought we weren't as sharp, but we're in the game. Really in the game. Colbert had a great night. Tip your hat. Even though some of them, were open. The choice there is, Brunson's on the rim and Colbert's in the corner, and we've got to be able to take away the rim and then get to those shooters and at least make them make a couple extra passes. Where we have a chance to rotate. But I thought that our rotations weren't as sharp as they need to be, and whether it's execution, after someone has driven the ball, or execution on the front end when they're looking for a matchup and trying to attack us. both those, both those areas, I think we can be better, and we'll need to be.
After what happened in last year's Clippers series when kind of similar issues happened,
Sure.
how much did you guys feel like you prepared for this during the regular season? And
We've prepared for it extensively. You've watched us play this year, Andy, and this isn't something that's foreign to our group. It's kind of what I elaborated on in the beginning, that the ability to stay in front and not give up both directions. I think when the ball gets middle, it's more difficult for us to help and still be able to, to rotate to guys that tonight, rotating to the corner is something that we know how to do. We got to be there quicker. Like I said, make an extra pass. And if we're able to, to be, I think, more focused, disciplined on the ball, and keep the ball out of the paint and on the rim, we're not in as many help situations. So it's, that this is not something, I don't know if it's good or bad, that it's not something that's foreign to us. It's something that, as you said, we've prepared for on many different levels. But our execution wasn't where it needed to be tonight. I thought we were a step slow from the beginning of the game. And that's not to take anything away from Dallas, and then, sometimes when a team does have, a hot shooting night, whether they're contested or not, making 47% of your threes, is going to be, a tough game to win. And I think we've been able to score through some of those situations as well, where we can actually get matched up when we're coming back down in the half court defensively. And so those things kind of feed each other.
Going to ask about that. How do you evaluate your offense, especially in the fourth quarter?
Well, when you're taking the ball out of the net, I've said it before, we need to run in order to try to get better looks and get space and get to the rim. I thought we got some clean looks. We got to the rim a few times. We had some offensive rebounds that we weren't able, to convert. Again, we'll look at the film, and see what the execution looks like. But, when they're making shots like that, and you want to try to run it back at them, it makes it a lot more difficult. And they were doing a good job. We were playing some small pick and roll. We were getting by. And, being able to make those plays in the lane and finish an offensive rebound is something that we're going to have to do. It's something we have done. And this is the playoffs. It's 1-1, we're going back home, and we have some things that we can look at and adjust to. And, it's a 7-game series. This is game 2. So got to clean some things up, be better. And I think we got a group that's capable of doing that. They understand the things that we need to be better at across the board. And that's what we'll do.
Once again, they kind of hold you guys relatively in check from beyond the arc. You guys wind up getting quite a few of your points by going into the lane. How do you is that a balance that you just have to live with at this point, given what they're doing defensively?
Yeah, I mean, I think when we are in the lane, we have, we need to finish at the rim. And that's something that we're capable of doing. If they're not helping immediately on an initial pass because they're drifting, we need to drive a closeout, and be under control when we get in the paint. And, you're going to have more of a multiple actions in order to generate some of those shots. And I think also, getting out in transition and getting space where you can attack and kick out. So, like I said, again, I think we'll watch the film and we'll see a number of times that we had the ball, where we need to finish, that I think we're capable of doing. But obviously, they're trying to take away the line. So there's different ways that you can get that. It's not going to be as easy, but that doesn't mean, it may not be there after one pass and pick and roll where you've got a clear kick out. But we had a few lobs early that, we didn't convert on. We had a few drives late that we didn't convert on. And, it's a 1-2 possession game. So you start adding some of those things up. You don't run from the things that you feel like you need to do better, but I think there's also the flip side of it, that you don't hang your head when you play against a team that played very well tonight, and the game goes down to the wire. So again, there's a difference between overreacting and responding, and we need to respond. We've been in these situations before over the course of the entire season, and that's something we've got to dig in and execute better on. Okay.